I'd like to take a moment here and acknowledge myself. Give myself a tap on the shoulder and say thank you to myself. So often do I look at others. It's easier. It's much easier looking at others from the outside and acknowledging all their success and everything that they've achieved and done, and to say, wow, it's amazing how this guy made himself that kind of life, how he manifested himself that kind of job, that kind of car, that kind of relationship. It's great how it works for him. But then when it comes to the self, we forget to do it to ourselves too. We forget to look at ourselves and to stop and to say, wow, man, you really did something great here. It's easier for us to judge ourselves. It's sometimes even looks easier to see what is not there, what we're missing, what we're still chasing or after, and how important it is to stop and to acknowledge also what we've done, what we've achieved. And I want to acknowledge right now what I've achieved in such a short time. For a long time that I have this longing for nature, and I have this calling to nature, and I want to live in nature, and there were a lot of fears involved and a lot of misunderstandings, and then I started making the move to change myself, not to change things around me, just to change my perspective about things and trust myself more. And look where I am right now. And that's where I stay right now. That's where I live right now. In an apartment, in a large apartment, 3-bedroom apartment. Doesn't cost me anything. I get to help here in nature too. And I've manifested it in such a short time. Yes, I had the vision and the will and felt a sense in me and a calling for many years. But I've just realized what it is in a couple of months ago, or since a couple of months ago. Maybe 1 year ago in August that Callie and I strongly started speaking about creating something like that in the perfect place. And then we went to Peru, even in a search for that, even in a way of, no, not in a way, we wanted to connect with ourselves and back with nature. We didn't know at the time if this place that we are looking for is in Peru. Actually, we know, and we knew all the time, that this place is in our hearts, is in ourselves. And once the home inside, once the feeling of home is inside, then home is everywhere. And here I am now in Germany, not even 1 month after I came back, and I've manifested myself 2 places already in nature, and this one, the second one, is way more even deep in nature than the other one that I just had. And I'm neglecting to acknowledge that, and I just was sitting on the balcony. I even have a balcony here. I don't have it in the other place where I was staying so far, and I love balconies. I was sitting on the balcony, and suddenly I was like, whoa, man, look at where you are. This is what you wanted. Maybe you didn't wish it or willed it to be in Germany or in this part of the countryside. Maybe or probably I envisioned it to be my own and not staying at somebody else's place. But still, if I'm not able to acknowledge the small steps that I'm making towards that big thing, how can I reach that big thing? And even these small steps are being achieved now or manifested so easily and so quickly. And even this big thing that I'm envisioning, I don't even know how it looks like actually. The better I'm clear with myself about what it is that I want, and the less, at the same time, the less that I am holding on to a certain picture or image, the quicker it manifests. And that's another trick or another part of the deal, is acknowledging it along the way. Seeing when it happens, seeing when it's there, even if it's partially there. Because this is all a communication between the human and the soul. Step by step. It's just like any relationship. You communicate with the partner and you tell him what you want, what you wish, what you need. And then you go with the partner, because he also has his wishes, he also has his needs, he or her needs. And they don't fully understand what are yours. Even when they hear it, even when they sense it and feel it, it's still through their projections. And that's the same between the human and the soul. The soul doesn't completely understand the human. The human say, I want nature, and there we go. Soul provides it when the human allows. But then the human goes, yeah, but I didn't want nature in coordinates x, y, z, or x, y, z. So the soul goes, oh, okay, so where do you want it? And then comes the next step. But that's it. It's acknowledging the steps and acknowledging that I create the steps and that I walk the steps at the same time. I allow the steps to happen. And I'm not just being frustrated that I cannot fly. Because even when when it flies, it must start with step. It must start with a runway towards that flight. So I'm taking this moment and acknowledging where I am. And that I brought myself here through beautiful communication between me and my soul,